In a typical developed country, the things that kill us at all our different stages of life are very different from the things that kill people in less developed countries. You will have studied diseases in the poorer world already, and what you'll be familiar with is that the leading causes of death in developing countries are mainly infectious diseases, diseases like malaria, AIDS, or HIV, and cholera, as well as a range of other infectious diseases. Whereas in the wealthy world or the developed world, which we live in, the leading causes of death are very different. And they're often regarded as lifestyle deaths. And what I mean by that is that the cause of our death is often through the choices we make during our life. Now, of course, that isn't always the case, but if I just go through this table to highlight just how true that often is for many of us, you'll see what it means by life, death being part of our lifestyle. So if we look at all of the age groups here, we can certainly, if we go to the older age groups, which is the typical age that most of us die at in our 70s or 80s, we can see that coronary heart disease is the leading cause of death. So that that's most typically having a heart attack. We can also see, featuring quite high, are things like lung cancer. Now, the reason lung cancer isn't a leading cause of death in people over the age 80s is that typically, if you've been a smoker, for example, it's unlikely you're going to live this long, and therefore lung cancer starts to drop away as a cause of death because it's already claimed most people by that stage. As a matter of fact, have most cancers. Now, if we just think about cancer before thinking about heart disease, there are many causes of cancer, but one of the causes, and one of the most frequent causes of cancer, especially lung cancer, is lifestyle, especially something like smoking. So you can choose to smoke or not to smoke, but if you choose to smoke, then your chances of dying of lung cancer, as well as a range of other cancers, is significantly higher. And that's also true of coronary heart disease, which is the leading cause of death above the age of 75. And the reason for that is one of the leading causes of heart disease is diet, along with alcohol consumption and smoking. And these three things combined lead to a much higher chance of having heart disease. And what you'll notice is heart disease doesn't even appear as a leading cause up until people get into their 40s. And that's because it's one of those things that we do when we're younger, but our body is able to deal with our diet and our habits. But as we get older and our body starts to age, it's less equipped to be able to cope with the various dietary choices we may have taken or lifestyle choices. And you'll start to see it appears as the third leading cause for people between the age of 45 and 64, rising to the second leading cause, 65 to 74s. And by the time it's in the 75s and above, it's become the leading cause. So back to my original introduction, why can we see things like heart disease as a lifestyle choice? Because the decisions we take in our life, like choosing to drink or smoke or eat diets with high saturated fats, for example, lots of processed meats, are likely to lead to an increased chance as we get older of having a heart attack or suffering from heart disease. And most of the things that kill us in our different stages of life are also lifestyle choices. So transport accidents are car accidents, for example, and the most common cause of a car accident is traveling too fast. And obviously that is a choice. Now, I don't want you to for a second think that all of these leading causes are lifestyle choices. You can be born with things that can lead to your own death, and there is nothing you can do about that. They're unavoidable. And you could also die of something you contract in a viral sense, or a bacteria that you catch and it kills you, for example, some kind of poisoning incident. But by and large, most of the things that will kill most of us in a developed country will be a lifestyle choice. A lifestyle choice that we make at some point during our life, often when we're younger, and something which then goes on when we become older to influence the extent of our life and how long we live.